Madison Square Garden. You know, for performers, for athletes, even for politicians, it's so much more than just a venue. It's the final verdict. It's the place you go to find out if you've really, truly made it. And for over 100 years, the ultimate proof has been one simple, powerful thing: a sellout. So let's get into this quest for validation and what it actually means to conquer the garden. I mean, they call it the world's most famous arena for a reason, right? For well over 140 years, it's been the central stage for pretty much everything in New York City: social life, politics, you name it. It's not just a building, it's a brand, a destination, and the ultimate benchmark for success. And its story is actually told through four completely different buildings. Yup, that's right. The Madison Square Garden we all know today, it's actually the fourth version. The name has been passed down from, believe it or not, an old railroad depot to this incredible architectural marvel, then to a gritty boxing hall, and finally to the modern icon that sits right on top of Penn Station. And each one of them completely redefined what it meant to draw a full house. So what's this all about, really? What does it actually mean to sell out Madison Square Garden? Well, it's about way more than just ticket sales. It's about getting to a level of cultural relevance where you can command the attention of the world's toughest audience, right in the heart of the world's greatest city. It is, without a doubt, the ultimate validation. Okay, so to really understand this benchmark, we've got to look at how the whole idea of a sellout has changed over time. And that story, it starts way, way back in the Gilded Age, when the crowd was the show. In the very beginning, a sellout wasn't really about the performers on stage. No way. At the first two gardens, it was all about social status. It was a place for high society to gather, where the main event was often just an excuse to see and, more importantly, be seen. And what's so wild is the contrast here. The first garden was this rough, open-air space that used to be a train terminal, and they'd pack people in for these bizarre events like 6-day walking races. But the second garden? Whoa, it was a palace. A stunning masterpiece by the architect Stanford White, built not just for events, but for New York's elite to literally put themselves on display. And this quote from 1913, it just nails it. The writer's talking about the National Horse Show, and what they're saying is that the real show wasn't the horses trotting around the ring. Nope. It was the wealthy socialites and business tycoons parading around in the boxes and on the promenade. The sold-out crowd was there to watch each other. Speaking of spectacle, get a load of this number: 3,000. That's how many orphans the famous Vanderbilt family invited to a charity event at the horse show in 1913. It was this huge gesture of public good, all performed for a completely sold-out audience of their high society friends. The sellout itself was part of the performance. But that whole age of the social sellout, it wasn't going to last. With the third garden, the idea of a capacity crowd completely changed. It wasn't about high society anymore. It was about raw, commercial power and grabbing the attention of the masses. And this is the guy who engineered the whole shift: the legendary promoter, Tex Rickard. He built the third garden on 8th Avenue for one reason and one reason only: to be a factory for sellout events. Boxing was his cash cow, and he designed the arena to pack in as many screaming fans as humanly possible. And oh boy, did he pack them in. On January 17, 1941, for the Zivik versus Armstrong fight, a jaw-dropping 23,190 people crammed into the arena. I mean, that's nearly 5,000 more than its official capacity. And it is still the all-time attendance record for any Madison Square Garden in history. Just incredible. This era is really when the Garden became the nation's town square. From sold-out hockey games on opening night to those record-shattering fights and unforgettable cultural moments like Marilyn Monroe's serenade to JFK, a packed house at MSG meant it was an event of national importance. Okay, so then in 1968, the fourth and current garden opens its doors. And with it, the definition of a sellout, well, it evolved all over again. This time, it became the ultimate status symbol for a whole new kind of royalty: the global music superstar. The timing was just perfect. The new arena was massive. With no columns to block the view, it was basically built for spectacle. Just as the whole rock touring industry was exploding, the Rolling Stones made it a mandatory stop in '69. Elvis came and conquered it in '72 with 4 sold-out shows. And by '77, Led Zeppelin was treating it like their own living room, selling out 6 straight nights.
Now, the Garden knew exactly how powerful it was. So in 1977, they decided to make this badge of honor official. They created the Gold Ticket Award. And to earn it, an artist had to sell over 100,000 tickets, which, meant you had to sell out the arena at least 5 times. The sellout wasn't just a success metric anymore. It became an official rite of passage.
And who were the first artists to get this ultimate validation? I mean, come on, it's a who's who of rock royalty. The Stones, Zeppelin, Queen, The Who. These were the bands that didn't just sell out the Garden. They owned it. And that Gold Ticket Award made it official.
All right, so that brings us to the modern era. The quest to sell out the Garden is just as intense as it's ever been, but the ways artists are getting there have multiplied in some really fascinating and surprising ways.
In this slide just shows the two modern extremes perfectly. On one side, you've got Billy Joel. He became the Garden's first ever music franchise, selling out a monthly show for more than a decade. He's the king, no question. But then, on the other side, you have this funk band, Wolfpack, who in 2019 did what seemed impossible. They sold out the entire arena with no manager, no record label, just a direct line to their fans. So from the Gilded Age elite and boxing titans to rock gods and indie disruptors, Madison Square Garden has always been the ultimate yardstick for who matters in our culture. For over a century, it has answered that one question: have you made it? The only question left is, who's it going to validate next?